I'm back. Hello. So I apologize for not having made videos in a while. Last video I made was a couple days after Christmas. My bad. I had a pretty hectic time. I started my second semester at college. I got the flu. That was pretty bad. I'm okay now though, but that was pretty bad, and I'm okay now, so I'm back. So I've titled this video, How to Bleach Your Hair Without Damaging It. Although, I'm going to be completely honest with you, no matter what, if you bleach your hair, it's going to get at least somewhat damaged. Just at least a little bit damaged. You can never bleach your hair and just completely escape damaging it. Although, you can take some measures to prevent damage so that your hair comes out looking pretty close to as healthy as it was before. As you can tell from my eyebrows, and if you've seen past videos of mine where I had my natural hair color, my natural hair is black, which means I clearly, to have a hair color like this, have had experience bleaching my hair. And I've had a lot of experience since I started coloring my hair. And, starting out, from the beginning, I wanted to make sure that I damaged my hair as little as possible, so I did extensive research on the internet back when I was, 17 and started dyeing my hair, on how I can bleach it without damage. And by the way, in case you don't know, you probably don't know, I've done all of my hair stuff at home. I've never been to a salon in my life. Never been to a hair salon. Done everything by myself, sometimes with a bit of help from my mom. Now I have several tips that I keep on using to this day to make sure that my hair does not get too damaged when I bleach it. Giving you guys a quick little assessment of my hair, it's been through some things. It definitely has some split ends. I recently got a trim. I continue to do stuff to moisturize it and keep it as healthy as possible so it doesn't look horrible, despite the fact that I've bleached it so many times. It is a little bit uneven, but other than that, we're good. My first tip has to do with what you do before you bleach your hair, and that is to just prep it to make sure it is in optimal health. When I'm about to bleach my hair, I plan for that about a month in advance at least. And, I start doing stuff like coconut oil masks for my hair, anything I can do just to make sure it's as healthy as possible. I get a trim, continue to trim my ends as much as possible so that all the hair I'm bleaching is healthy hair and not damaged hair that's just gonna get even more frayed and damaged. If your hair isn't in at least decent shape, just don't bleach it. It's not worth it. You're gonna make your hair so much worse. It's gonna look horrible. It's gonna be a mess. And I'm sure you would rather have okay looking hair than bleached hair that is also a complete mess. So just, wait, get a haircut, cut off the damaged bits of your hair, do some moisturizing masks. I can tell you guys a couple of my favorites that I use, but don't bleach your hair until it is in at least decent shape. You want your hair to be in as good shape as possible before you bleach it, because if you bleach damaged hair, it's going to be a mess. And if you bleach very healthy hair, then, it can still turn out really nice. Now, the next tip has to do with when you're actually bleaching your hair. Supposedly, there are some bleaches that don't damage your hair as much as other bleaches. This is supposedly just according to reviews, people who have used several different types of bleach, noticing that certain bleaches don't damage their hair as much as other bleaches that they've used. I've only used one type of bleach before, and it was this bleach that was reviewed to supposedly not cause as much damage to your hair as other types of bleach. Although this is all, just what consumers have noticed. It's not a proven fact, it's just supposed. Although the bleach that I use, which supposedly doesn't do as much damage as other bleaches, is the Manic Panic bleach kit. I'm just gonna show you guys the bleach that I always go for, and it's the Manic Panic Flash Lightning 30 volume bleach. It lifts pretty fast. I haven't noticed a lot of damage on my hair from using this. It just tends to get kind of dry, and of course, over time bleaching your hair several times, you'll notice some damage, but this doesn't cause a lot of damage after one use, immediately after. And I always get the 30 volume. I never get the 40 volume unless I'm doing a bleach bath and diluting its power. 40 volume, I never recommend. Even if you have black hair like me and you're bleaching for the first time, just use 30 volume as the highest volume. Unless you're going to a salon and, they recommend otherwise, because they know what they're doing. You do not know what you're doing unless, you're a certified hairstylist. I'll mix this with some shampoo to do a bleach bath. That's more 20 volume to get any remnants of color out if I'm switching over to another color and I can't get a color to fade any further than it already has. And I'll just use this straight 30 volume on my hair if I'm doing my roots or bleaching my natural hair. I've never had an issue with this stuff personally. I did recommend this to one of my YouTuber friends, it's Zia, and she was trying to get green out of her hair. That was really difficult. I can refer her to you guys. You should subscribe to her. She's really cool. I like her videos. And this actually did not work for her, surprisingly, which was really shocking to me personally because I've never had a problem with this stuff, and we both use the same type of dye, Arctic Fox. So it might not work for you, just putting that out there if you have a really difficult hair color or hair that is really hard to lift. But with me personally, I've had no problems with this stuff. It has a fast lift. Pretty good. This next tip is somewhat popular. Some people know about it, some people don't. Usually people who've been bleaching their hair for a while end up finding out. But one trick, I'm adjusting my hair. Hold on. There we go. I think that's good. And then a tip that I have always used to protect my hair while bleaching it is to put some type of oil on your hair, let it sit for a few hours, maybe even overnight, and then bleach your hair over the oil that's on your hair. This works out, and the bleach goes through and everything goes fine, and your hair ends up keeping a lot of its moisture because the oil acts as a barrier to keep all of the moisture in your hair and protect it. And when the bleach is on your hair, instead of sucking out your hair's moisture, it just sucks up the moisture off the oil. Most people, including me, will use coconut oil, although you can use any type of oil you want pretty much. You can use olive oil, almond oil, castor oil, I don't know. But most people tend to use coconut oil, and in my opinion, coconut oil or olive oil will probably be the two best options. And if you're scalp sensitive and you're one of those people like me who bleach all the way to the top of the root, then you can also actually put the oil on your scalp, and that will help to protect your scalp so that you don't suffer. This next tip is not practical for everyone, but if you can, try to use as low volume of a bleach as possible, and over time just gradually move to a lighter and lighter shade for your hair. This way your hair isn't given the immediate shock and power that's in high volume bleach, like 40 volume bleach, that I never use, ever. unless I am diluting it with shampoo and making it a bleach bath, in which case it moves down to more of a 30 volume. The reason why I say this isn't necessarily practical for everyone is because even I don't really follow it. The highest volume bleach I use is 30, and I use that on my virgin hair. So, you know, when my roots start growing and I'm doing my roots, I'll use 30 volume bleach. And, you know, it's like I'm not gonna use, like, 20 volume bleach maybe, and, like, bring it to, like, maybe, like, a light brown or something, and then do it again a few weeks later, because by then my roots would have already grown back, and it's like, there's no point. You know what I mean? But if you're doing something like what I was doing starting out when I was dyeing my hair, which was, you know, just dyeing my hair up to here and bleaching it up to here and then the rest of my hair being black, then it makes more sense to use lower volume bleach and just gradually move to the color that you want, because, you know, it's not like your roots are gonna be here and, you know, it's just a weird mess of different shades, you know what I mean? So that tip, like, unlike the other tips that I've given, is kind of situational. It depends on what you're doing with your hair. Anyways, I think that's all the tips I can think of from the top of my head for maintaining healthy bleached hair, and all the tips I have for bleaching your hair without damaging it as much. Subscribe if you want to. Stay tuned. I'm gonna make a more in-depth video for maintaining healthy color treated hair, so keep an eye out for that. If you want more tips, feel free to ask any questions down in the comments below, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.